Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative here, and welcome to my Bethesda E3 conference review. Right off the bat, it felt like this conference was also particularly boring after a segue into some short but sweet announcements that are detailed in this first review. I don't understand the presentation of dwelling on certain creations for far too long. They had a stellar reveal with the opening of Quake Champions, which was relatively a nice concept. Doom sold well enough for them to revitalize more IPs in the well. However, like the pitfalls of the other conferences, there wasn't much information to glean from the CGI trailer, other than the fact that some teases occurred for future reference, like Wolfenstein, the new Colossus. Those cheeky bastards. Quake Champions is also PC exclusive, which honestly I feel indifferent about. This is simply Bethesda's choice, but in my honest opinion, I think the game would be more profitable if it was a multi-platform experience. Only time will tell if the game will look decent when there's more information revealed. Next we have the new revitalized version of Prey, which is supposed to be some new sort of Groundhog Day type of space horror in regards to the plot. This was stated by the developers Arcane Studios, which also is the figurehead behind Dishonored, interestingly enough. Naturally, I have mixed opinions about this reimagined Prey. First is the fact that Prey 2 is now lost in the ether because of this game. I understand why it was necessary because the game was eventually cancelled, but it's still a loss to those who anticipated a proper sequel. Another reason my opinions are mixed is because there was no gameplay of the sort, and the shift to Arcane, how can I be excited about something that I really never seen in action? Now, I'll make it up front and clear that last year's Bethesda conference was packed to the hilt with a lot of Fallout 4 gameplay presentations. This year, with the DLC, it just seems to be lacking in retrospect. Just tons of Fallout Shelter stuff was displayed on stage that I really could care less about in those specific regards. The Elder Scrolls had a new bundle of information to rumors we already knew about with the Skyrim remaster, so I'm sure this will delight many fans around the world who actually enjoyed that experience. With me, it's always possible that I'll pick it up and give it a test drive. I certainly will have no reason to go back to the original if this is the tried and true definitive version. The ESO stuff, on the other hand, isn't even worth bothering. If I needed a good sleep simulator, then the ESO news would accommodate me there. Dishonored 2 had an oddly cut gameplay presentation that showed off a range of new takedowns and abilities adapted into the sequel. It seems like a lot of the best stuff that was going on in the demo was taken away, like the Shadow Walk execution they had at the end, almost briefly. It gave me flashbacks to how Jackie Estacado brought the pain out in the darkness. And it also looks unique, like the pacifist and homicidal runs will be returning in some fashion, along with two unique playable characters. Outside of Dishonored 2 and some key announcements, Bethesda really didn't bring much to the table, beyond some teases and possible outlooks to the future. I honestly was readily disappointed that they didn't show off Evil Within 2. The Evil Within 2 rumors didn't come to light for this press conference, which I was the most curious to see actually. An enhanced sequel that could right all the wrongs of the original, while I would be extremely anticipating it at the same time. With this long, overbloated focus of the ESO card game, I'm not ashamed to say my attention fell off the rails at times. However, the nice support they were giving for the Doom DLC was still appeasing to me in some ways. Quake could actually be good, and Dishonored 2 didn't look half bad. Overall, I would give the Bethesda conference a letter grade of a C-.